Hi, everybody. We are here for our virtual Zoom roundtable with the WBA super flyweight champion, Joshua the Professor Franco. We are here. He's available for questions. If you would like to ask a question, just raise your hand, okay? By using the function, there's a way to raise your hand on Zoom by clicking the options section. So we'll start right now with Joshua Franco. We have a few people who have raised their hand. 1 second. I don't know how that person got the link. We'll start. You were here first, so we'll start with you, Ernesto. So we're unmute you.
Hello, Joshua. It's always a pleasure to have a conversation with you. And now the question is, now you are champion of the world. How many things in your life are changing now that you're a champion of the world?
Life's the same, now that I'm just a world champion, that's the difference. And it feels good to have a world title.
And Joshua, let me ask you this. There is a lot of names out there. If you have the option to choose one, of course, to defend your title, which one you choose?
To defend my title, I would say against Chocolatito, unify with Chocolatito and give the fans a great fight. It'll be a great fight with me and him.
And finally, there is a lot of names out there that are looking for you. How is the feeling? Because now they are looking for you.
It's okay. It feels good, to have a world title and to be a target. Now, everybody's gonna want to fight me. So I'm ready for anything.
Thank you, Professor. Gracias, Maestro.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ernesto. All right, perfectly. And before we continue, now that it's pretty much 1:30, we'll have Joshua make some opening remarks. I'd like him to show his belt very quickly to everybody while we do that. There you go. If you want to just make some opening remarks, just in general to the media about your victory and your winning a world title. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Franco, the Professor, as y'all know, and I finally received my belt today. It feels good to finally get it. I've been waiting since I won, so it feels good to actually be holding it and having it now. Perfect.
So again, just raise your hand if you'd like to ask some questions. It looks like next we have Rigo from Fino Boxing. Go ahead, Rigo.
Hey, John. Thank you so much for taking the time with us. First and foremost, how does it feel holding that WBA belt and now obviously being an official champion?
It feels really good. It feels great. I've been waiting for it, like I said, so finally get it. It feels great. It's a great feeling.
Just now you mentioned the perfect fight will be Chocolatito. I don't know if you read the article, but Jerwin Arcanjas, who's the IBF champion, in a sense called you out. He says he would like to unify with you. Is that a fight, obviously, if you're able to get through the rematch with Maloney, that you would also entertain?
Of course. Why not unify and, get that IBF title next? That'll be a great fight against Arcanjas, and I know I'm ready for him, and when we get that rematch out the way, and why not go with Uncut?
Speaking of the rematch, the first time out obviously was on the top ranked card. The scorecard was a little bit closer than truly what it was. For the rematch, is that going to be promoted via Golden Boy, or what's the status with that?
I'm not too sure about that, but I just know that when the time comes, I'll be ready to go again.
Now, lastly, what does it feel to take that belt back to San Antonio once you get back home? What does it mean for you, for the family, and for the city?
It means everything. We've been waiting for this belt, and to take it back, it's gonna feel great. I can't wait to get back with it.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rigo. And now we'll move on to Brian O'Hara from Ring. 1 second. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, what's going on, champ? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. You feeling a little itchy with that mask on, or does it feel good?
Nah, it's all right. I'm used to it now.
All right, man. So obviously you got the big win in your last fight, and your opponent suffered some injuries, but he was willing to take the rematch. So what's that say about his character? And do you see the fight going exactly the same way as before, or perhaps even getting the knockout in this case? Do you see yourself winning by knockout in this case, just considering how much damage he took in the first outing?
Yeah, that just shows that he kind of heart he has. He wants to, fight again and try to get his belt back. And I mean, he of course he's gonna want that, but I'm not gonna let him. And I see the fight going different, way different in the, with the rematch. I don't see it going 12 rounds this time.
All right, thank you very much, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, Ryan.
Anytime, dude.
Perfect. Next, we'll have Eric Rosenfield from Boxing World Weekly.
Hi, Joshua. Thanks for having me today. I just want to say congratulations to you and the whole Golden Boy team. First question for you, though. What was it like fighting in the bubble? What was that experience like?
It was different from all my other fights, of course, because I didn't have my family or anybody with me in my hotel room, or even leading up to the fight. So I mean, it was really different, being in the bubble and getting tested every day and having to stay in the room and stuff. But I mean, I didn't let it get to me. I was there for a reason. I was really focused, and I mean, it was different.
Is there any word on when the Maloney rematch might happen? Do you see yourself fighting again in 2020?
I'm not sure when the rematch is gonna happen. I haven't got any word, but I'm staying ready. And I mean, if the rematch happens, in 2020, then I'll be more than ready.
Perfect. How's Robert Garcia doing? Obviously, he had one test come back positive, one negative before the Vergil fight. I just wanted to know how he's doing now and if he's taken any more precautions with his gym.
Well, from what I know, he's doing better now. I heard he got tested, a few other times, and they all came back negative. So he's doing better now.
Fantastic. Great to hear. Last question for you. The first super flyweight American champion since 2003. How does that make you feel? Does that put it on for your country? How do you feel?
Of course. I mean, that, and San Antonio doesn't have many world champions, so to be one of those few to have a world champion, for the city, it's an honor. It's a great feeling.
Fantastic. Great talking to you again, Joshua. Good luck with the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to Steven Cureño from KO Artist Sports. Go ahead, Steven.
Joshua, congratulations, champ. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, brother. Good, man. Good to see you. I just want to ask, kind of, when you were initially announced, right, as champ, just what was that feeling like, being that in the special circumstances it was, right? Like, there is no crowd, there is kind of like not that roar, but you're still, lifelong goal been accomplished.
Yes, it was a great feeling to be, announced as the winner and to get my world title. It's, something I worked for since I was a kid. So to finally accomplish, one of my goals, it's word can't describe.
Was there anything to the fact that, we are in a pandemic and these fights are kind of the only sporting events going on, at the time it was happening? I don't remember if it was Tuesday or Thursday, but was there any kind of extra, I guess, feelings with that, being that, wow, like, these are the only thing people are watching, I gotta show out?
I didn't, think about that too much, but I was excited, being on the, main event, fighting for a world title against, the undefeated fighter at the time with Maloney. I was just really motivated, really focused, and, I had a mission in my head, and I had to accomplish it.
Obviously, the Maloney rematch is next, and, God willing, with the victory, and you continue as champion. You talked about Chocolatito. Do you feel that kind of during this time, you guys are, Golden Boy works with DAZN, Matchroom, I believe, is with DAZN as well. So I think it's one of those kind of bigger fights that can actually happen. Does that give you any more confidence that, you might actually get this big fight, even during this time where big fights, may be a little harder to come by?
Of course. I mean, that's the fight I want. And, I'm the regular champion. He's a super champion. So, I mean, why not make that fight happen?
Man, I can't wait, man. Hopefully it happens. Congratulations again, champ. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. We're going to move over to Sean from FightHype. I can just find him. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, Joshua, congrats again on becoming new world champion.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Just to talk about Chocolatito again, when you watched him over the years, what have you thought about him as a fighter, and what would getting a fight with him like really mean to you?
Yeah, I've watched him since, I was an amateur, and, I used to always watch his fights and, his sparring. So, I have the regular belt, he has a super belt, and, to be, world champion with the same, sanctioning body as him, it's crazy feeling, man. Just, I grew up watching him. So to be, up there, mentioned with him, it's a great feeling.
Being that you've been able to watch him over the years, how would you go? I mean, you can't share with us everything, but how would a fight with him go? How would you go about trying to beat a guy like Chocolatito?
Just fight my fight, just be smart. The fighter I always am, be smart, pick my punches, break him down little by little. And I mean, I have all the confidence that, that I have. I believe in myself that I will get the victory over him.
Yeah, because, he likes to just go in there, let his combinations go. Would you kind of just meet him toe-to-toe? Is that the kind of fight it'd be?
It might be. I mean, I adjust pretty good to different styles. So, I mean, I feel like I'll be able to make the adjustment in my favor, fight my fight.
Right. Because, like, the way you won the belt, you were stepping around a lot. So maybe you wind up boxing him, right? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens that night.
Who do you think would be? I know you would rather fight Gonzalez, but who at this stage of his career is the tougher fight, him or Uncut, you think?
They're both tough fights. I mean, Uncut has a lot of experience. So does Chocolatito. I mean, both of those fights are tough. I mean, I can't really say who would be the toughest one,
And lastly, Josh, I know coming up in San Antonio in the Texas area, did you get to see, did you come up with Errol Spence at all? I know you're a few years younger, but did you in the Texas area?
I never came up with him. He was from, in Dallas.
All right.
The one person I did, see a lot in the amateurs as a kid was Vergil'S Ortiz. But Spence.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks. Just wanted to see maybe if you had a thought on Spence Garcia, or maybe if not Spence Garcia, what it would be like if it was an all Texas showdown one day between Vergil and Errol Spence. What would you think of that?
That would be a crazy fight. That would be a fight that everybody wants to see. Spence versus Vergil, two fighters from Dallas. So yeah, man, that I would even be a fan of that fight.
You think Vergil would pull it off, or is he? Still growing, maybe still getting there. But do you think if that fight ever came off, Vergil could win that fight? Would win that fight?
Yeah, I think even right now, Vergil's ready, to fight Spence, and I see Vergil getting the victory over him. Vergil's just a different fighter than any of those guys at that weight.
Josh, thanks so much, man. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks. Now we will move to Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene. Go ahead, Jake.
Hey, what's up, champ? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I appreciate you asking. So I know you mentioned a lot of names in the 115-pound division. I wanted to ask if you saw the most recent fight with Srisaket Sorangvise when he fought I'm Not Wrong, and if so, just like what do you think of the prospect of fighting him in the future?
I didn't get to see that fight, but I did see that he won, and I mean, he that would be a great fight against a fighter like him. He has a victory over Chocolatito, so I mean, and he likes to fight, so I like to fight too. So that'll be a great fight.
Yeah, and I'm just hearing all these names mentioned. Like once upon a time, like you just couldn't make money in the 115-pound division. I mean, you could probably retire with like just fighting 2 or 3 of the guys that we've mentioned in this in this chat alone. Just like how does it feel just to be in that position right now?
It's a blessing, bro. I mean, I worked so hard, to get to this point. And I mean, it's a great feeling.
Definitely. So obviously with the highs of boxing come the lows of boxing. I just want to know, like going into your next fight, like if there's just any thoughts of Travell. I know he passed away, shortly after you won your big title. Just if there's gonna be like any thoughts of him going into your next fight, like any kind of tribute or any sort. Yeah,
I mean, my condolences to him and his family. Travell was a great person, always happy, and always had a smile on his face. So, I mean, so I mean that it hurts, to lose, a person like that. I mean, I know that, you know, he's watching over, you know, all of us.
Definitely. So with that, I know you're talking about just how much pride you had bringing that belt home to San Antonio. Well, you're going to bring the belt home to San Antonio, I should say. Just like, does it make it that much more purposeful? Like, you know, you're one of the guys now truly representing that whole area of San Antonio, Austin, all that.
Of course. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm bringing, you know, another belt home back to San Antonio. You know, we have very few champions, and, you know, to be one of those few, it's, you know, it's history, and, you know, it's a great feeling.
Okay, definitely. And then my final question, with the way the world is going, there's a very good chance your next fight will probably be back in a bubble of sorts. Do you feel like it'll be easier for you the second time around, knowing what you've already experienced back in June?
Yeah, I mean, no, it wasn't, you know, really a big deal. You know, I was just so focused in the zone, so I didn't really, you know, let it, you know, get to me. So, I mean, it's going to be the same thing, you know. I mean, the only thing that's going to be different is the fight, I think. You know, I mean, I don't see the fight going, you know, 12 rounds.
Okay, very cool. All right, thanks, champ. Always a pleasure talking to you, man. And once again, congratulations. Good to see that belt with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. And now we have our dear friend Gail, who will unmute right now for questions.
Thank you very much. Oh, we're all so busy chattering with each other on the chat window. Hey, champ, how are your arms getting a little heavy there, holding that belt up?
A little bit, I don't mind it.
I bet you don't. You know, looking back at that crazy series of fights you had with Oscar and Negrete, do you think that maybe you need to give a little tiny piece of that belt over to Oscar, helping you prepare? Because he put you through hell. Of course, you returned the favor. How much did that help you prepare for the performance you eventually had to win that belt?
It helped me a lot. You know, Oscar Negrete is a tremendous fighter. You know, having 30 rounds with him, it helped me, you know, so much. You know, with my poise, my conditioning, you know, my mentality, everything. You know, it all helped, and, you know, it was, you know, it was a good feeling to have those fights with him.
Would you say that sends a message to other fighters who we won't name anybody, we won't throw shade on anyone in particular, but criticism against other rising stars who may not test themselves to the degree you did? What would your advice be to them? Because you did do that.
My advice would be, I mean, you know, just believe in yourself. You know, I mean, you've been, you know, any of the fighters that, you know, they've been doing this since they were kids. I mean, you've been doing this since you were a kid. I mean, so you should have all the confidence in yourself, you know, in your abilities, and, you know, just believe in yourself.
Look forward to seeing you again. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Perfect. We'll move next to Abraham Gonzalez. Abraham, go ahead.
Hey, champ, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, listen, so watching your last fight, it was a lot closer on the scorecards than it should have been. And we heard the result, and knockdown definitely leaned it in your favor in regards to the eyes of the judges. This time around, what do you think that you have to do? I'm assuming that the rematch is next. This time around, what do you think you have to do to like really nail that down? And is it going to be on the ESPN side, or is it going to be on the zone side? Because I think that might also have a play in that part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what, you know, network is going to be on, but, you know, I mean, I do know what I know what I have to do, you know, different in this fight. You know, I'm going to start earlier this time, and, you know, this next time around, I'm not going to let it go, and, you know, in the hands of the judges. Okay.
And now, since winning the title, how has life changed for you? Just on a daily basis, and, you know, and just in general, how has life changed for you?
It hasn't changed much, but, you know, I will say that I've been doing a lot of interviews lately, and, you know, that's the only difference. You know, just a lot more interviews.
Are people starting to stop you in the streets and say, "Hey, you know, what's up, champ"?
Nah, they probably recognize me because, you know, I have a mask on all the time.
All right, and then what are some of your goals for next year, aside from the rematch? If it gets put off to next year, or if it happens at the end of this year, what are some of those goals for next year? What do you want to do? Most importantly, I know what a lot of people would like for you to do, but more specifically, what do you want to do next year?
I want to unify against another champion, you know, and one of the, you know, more than one champion. I want to unify just against any of the champions. That's my goal.
Okay. All right, and then okay, and that's it. That's all the questions I have for you. I appreciate your time, champ.
Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks, Abraham. Now we'll move on to Albert Baker. And again, if you want to ask questions, just raise your hand using the Zoom thing to raise your hand. Albert, go ahead. Albert?
All right.
There
The
you go.
professor. Professor, first off, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Considering this whole COVID worldwide pandemic thing and you're having to wear a mask, do you feel like you've been able to enjoy your victory so far?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you know, I'm always with my family. So, you know, just spending time with my family and, you know, enjoying time with them, you know, that's the way I enjoy, you know, my victory. And that's all I need is my family. So I'm blessed for that.
Now, we've heard a lot of, obviously the first fight mentioned after this would be a fight with Chocolatito. Now, the big fights obviously take a little bit longer to negotiate and get into. In the meantime, are you looking to just stay busy? Because you did earn some capital with popularity after this win. It was probably the biggest win since the bubble was invented. You probably earned the most popularity of all the fighters and all the fights so far. Stay busy until you get a big fight, or wait until you get a big fight?
I mean, whatever, you know, my promoter has, my manager has, you know, I'll do whatever they say. But, you know, for myself, you know, I want to unify against, you know, one of the champions, or, you know, the rematch with Maloney. You know, whatever happens, I'm ready.
That being said, have you gone back to camp? Are you still working out? Because obviously you're still here in California. Are you working out? How are you staying busy?
Well, I'm actually back home right now, but, you know, I came, you know, to get my belt. And I mean, you know, I'm staying busy back home. You know, I'm back in the gym and, you know, sparring and, you know, doing my strength and conditioning. So, I mean, I'm staying ready for whatever.
Okay. And if you can't get Chocolatito or Ancajas in, is there a particular name out there that you want to get if Maloney can't?
I would just say, you know, Chocolatito. I mean, I don't really. I just want to, you know, unify against any of the champions, or even, you know, defend my belt against, you know, one of the mandatories.
All right, brother. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Now we'll continue with our friend Mark Abrams. Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Josh, how you doing? Congratulations. A quick question. Do you feel that you were overlooked during fight week? Obviously, you know, not only him, but his brother was fighting a couple days later, and a lot of the promotion was about the Maloney's taking, you know, coming to America and whatnot. Did you feel a little slighted a little bit, or you think they slept on you a little bit?
Of course, I mean, for sure they were sleeping on me. They didn't know, you know, what they were up against. But I mean, they probably were overlooking me, you know, just, you know, because I don't know, they probably just were looking over me. But I mean, it's all right.
But was that the feeling that you got? It was all about him and his brother fighting, you know, back-to-back days. And did you have a, hey, what about me? I'm here kind of attitude?
Of course. I mean, you know, going into their show, they're gonna, you know, be hyping up, you know, their fighter, and he's a champion. So I mean, I knew in myself what I was gonna do. I mean, I always had the confidence in myself, but, you know, for sure they were, you know, putting him over me, and, you know, they were overlooking me.
And just one quick question about the fight itself. If I recall, he may have come out and he may have won a couple rounds early. What was the turning point in your? It looked like from the 6th round on, it was all you. And what was the turning point in the fight?
I would say after the 2nd or 3rd round, you know, that I started getting my rhythm and getting his timing down, and, you know, I didn't really feel, you know, anything special from him. So I mean, I knew that, you know, from those rounds on, I was just gonna do my thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Perfect. We'll move on now with Chris from TV Boxeo. Go ahead. Adelante, Chris.
All right. Hey, champ, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
How does it feel like knowing that some of us, like newer media that, you know, been around 4 or 5 years, we kind of started when you started your career. And now, you know, we've gone with you through your first fight all the way to now you're a world champion. How does it feel that, you know, we're riding the journey with you and it's always the same faces and stuff?
Yeah, it's a great feeling, you know. I mean, it feels good, you know. Like you said, you know, I remember, you know, seeing you when you first started, and I've seen you grow too as a, you know, the person you are. So I mean, it's a great feeling.
And watching your division, like they keep bringing up Chocolatito, but he's in the gym right now, and there's talks that, you know, he might be facing Gallo Estrada. Are those are names that you've always wanted?
Of course, and you know, even more now that, you know, I have my world title, I want to, you know, unify against one of them.
Is there any words in Spanish that you can tell Chocolatito or Gallo Estrada?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I have nothing to say.
You wish that one day you could step in the ring with them.
Of course, I mean that's the dream. I mean, I know it'll come soon.
And then lastly, what kind of impact you think you made on your brother with you becoming a world champion?
You know, I just feel like, you know, I motivated him. I mean, you know, he tells me that he's told me before that, you know, that he looks up to me and that I'm his favorite fighter. I mean, so, you know, to win a world title and, you know, have my brother see that, I mean, it just shows that, you know, anything's possible.
And the last one, champ, on Twitter, I think you posted like some fancy pictures of like your new swag. You got like you're feeling different now, right?
I feel more happy because I have a world title. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm just happy and, you know, I mean, just, you know, excited for the future. I mean, I'm a strong fighter and, you know, I have all the confidence in myself.
All right, champ. Well, congratulations, and you know, we're here riding this ride with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Excellent questions. Thank you. And now this will be our last question with Fernando Pimentel. Go ahead, Fernando.
Congratulations, champ. Very, very impressive win this summer in the Summer Series, the top rank and everything. I want to actually ask you about the teamwork and everybody in your camp, the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy camp. You know, they have world champs. How did they bring you into it now knowing that you are a world champion in their stable?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I have, you know, Robert Garcia as my trainer. I have a great team behind me. You know, his son Pita, my conditioning coaches, Chepe, and, you know, Charles. You know, we all work, you know, as a team together, and, you know, it showed in the ring. You know, I mean, like I said, you know, in the gym, we all push each other. We have world champions in the gym. We have, you know, Mikey Garcia, Jose Ramirez. We have Vergil Ortiz. You know, we had Abner Mares. We have, you know, we've also had Carlos Cuadras. I mean, you know, all of that experience together. You know, it all plays out and it pays off.
Talk to us about the tough matchmaking that Golden Boy put you through to obviously lead you to this. A lot of people do believe that trilogy you had with Negrete actually toughened you up to get to where you are and get this championship at the moment in time.
Yes, I mean, you know, they matched me right. You know, they gave me the right fights. They helped me grow as a fighter, and of course, those 3 fights with Negrete, they helped me out. You know, 30 rounds with the tough, rugged fighter like Negrete. You know, he doesn't let you breathe in there. So of course, you know, those fights paid off and they helped a lot.
The rematch is more than likely next. They're obviously more than likely going to exercise that bout. What did you learn about yourself and your opponent this one to actually have, if not the same outcome, a better outcome this second time around?
I mean, you know, me myself, I saw, you know, what kind of fighter he is, and, you know, I mean, I have that for myself, and, you know, I feel like it's gonna be different for sure. You know, the second time around, I know it's gonna be different, and it's not gonna be, you know, it's not gonna go 12 rounds.
All right. Thank you for your time, and again, congrats on the championship victory, my man.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks, Fernando. All right, everyone. That concludes our virtual roundtable with Joshua Franco. We'll have him make some closing remarks before we end. Go ahead.
I want to thank everybody for their time. You know, thank you for the support, you know, for taking this time, you know, for the questions and everything. And yeah, I mean, just keep supporting me and, you know, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. From everyone at Golden Boy, we are very excited that despite this COVID pandemic, we had the first world title fight and the first world champion, obviously because of his victory. And we look forward to more fights, more exciting fights. The 115-pound division is very exciting. So we're going to have a champion for a long time. So on behalf of everyone at Golden Boy, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you all soon.